to another episode of Detonation. Wow, this is awesome. We have come post-election, so we've done the whole election cycle here on Detonation, and now we have a candidate-elect, Ben Zion, who's come out on the other side of it, and he's come all the way from. Where are you again? What city are you in, Ben Zion? I forgot.
Lovely Las Vegas, Nevada.
Las Vegas,
They told me it's a pretty fun place.
Yeah, big city, big buildings, big dreams, big hopes in that city. It's the city of gambling, right? Either you win or you lose in that place. I mean, there's no other way to go, right? So
you got to roll the dice.
Well, you're candidate-elect, and you're there doing Raad Fest specifically because you've come out on the other side of the election. Let's talk about the election. What's happening? Why are you the candidate-elect, Ben Zion?
Well, we had a tough primary election. A lot of candidates ran incredibly good campaigns. A lot of people, all doing great work, and I'm really happy to have gotten to know all of them. And I'm so pleased that I'm able to be working with some of them. Any number of my fellow candidates are now key cabinet advisors in advisory positions, and that's as well as many others. We're adding a number of platform planks to the Futurist New Deal for America. So many of those key advisors are also writing that for publication for the United States Transhumanist Party website. I'm working with myself and other advisors and campaign professionals in that role. So it's been an incredible opportunity for me to get to know all of you, and I thank you for your vote of confidence. And I look forward to serving you as your advocate.
Yeah, and it's nice that you've stayed so humble. Straight after winning. You didn't go around, peacocking. It's been fantastic. There's been a lot of drama on the other side of the camp. We've had resignations. Mr. Shatke is now gone. He's absolutely left the party. Haywire is in the process of winding herself out. I'm not sure if that's officially out yet, but she looks like she's going to go. And I remember I've talked to you a little bit. I mean, I sort of saw it coming, but I didn't think they would actually do. I thought it was a political play. That's what I thought it would be. Like, I'll leave and I'll take all my voters, But actually, them doing it is kind of why a lot of people didn't vote for them, because they said this. If you want to run a party, if you lose, I mean, you bow out humbly, but you stay in the cause. You don't throw a huge temper tantrum, and you leave. And it's just not good for the cause. It's not good for the party. It's not good for the cause. And I think at the end of the day, a lot of people voted. Gennady, the chairman, said 57 people put Haywire at the very, very bottom of their preferences. Because she ran a divisive campaign. She didn't run a ranked preference system campaign. There was some alt-right stuff in there, which also got people a little bit queasy that people didn't like. But this is a. She ran a hard campaign. She ran a good campaign. She came in a solid second. I mean, you can almost say you scraped through. But there wasn't a ranked preference strategy coming from the Haywire camp, and I think that's what let her down. It was just that little bit too divisive, and you rolling in at the end there with that message of unity, with actually focusing on a lot of people criticized you during the campaign. Who are you? Which party are you going for? Are you going for the Democrats with Bernie Sanders, or are you going with the Ustp? And you rolled back the Bernie stuff, and you said, no, that's it. I'm with the Ustp. And you rolled back that coverage, and people at the end of the day, they had to put a number in the box, and they said, all right, ranked preference system, let's put Ben at the start, and I guess that's what happened. I guess people want to entrust you with the I mean, it's a burden. I mean, it's not the funnest job in the world. I mean, you got to go around now talking about this for a long, long time. I mean, it's a big responsibility, right?
Yes. I'm already making travel arrangements. I'm the DC Transhumanist Party has been kind enough to host me. I'm going to be in Los Angeles, here in Las Vegas right now, and making all other kinds of travel arrangements to be touring in support of the United States Transhumanist Party and raising awareness for these important issues, including life extension. The reason that we're all here in Radfest right now, and I do consider Rachel Haywire to be a friend. We put some. We all had to put ourselves out there, but she did bring a certain kind of energy to that primary campaign, and I was really pleased to work with all those folks, and I hope to continue to be able to work with them. I'm saddened to hear that she might leave the organization because, in her own way, she's brought a certain level of awareness to what's been going on.
I totally agree, and we appreciate all the candidates, especially here at Detonation. We loved all the candidates, everybody from you to Mr. Kirks to Mr. Shacky to Mr. Holsopple. Absolutely love Mr. Holsopple, and we're going to be working closer with Mr. Holsopple. Actually, we're going to show tomorrow with Mr. Holsopple, and Mr. Holsopple brings a whole lot to the table, and if you look through the results, the actual results that the chairman and has devised for us there, that those results table that Mr. Holsopple was, although he wasn't the first, he is definitely a highly respected member of the party. He's got a lot of mid-rank votes there. A lot of people want him to stay, hang around. These rank preference systems really show where people want. The Virillion, nobody knew who that was, but Mr. Matt Taylor absolutely charging through. And as I said, Kristen T. Harris, who is an absolutely valuable member, charging up as the dark horse. That's what I called him, the dark horse. And he was making massive amounts of ground, being a fantastic candidate in the race. And, I really respect Mr. Harris, and I want to see him hanging around. I want to see, this is your challenge now, candidate-elect. This is your challenge to keep all of these people in the banner, supporting life extension, following through on your policy goals, and also, not allowing the Futurist New Deal to dominate the conversation, but taking in all these other, other views. And I think you can do that. And the USTP party has said that you can do that. Can you do that?
Yes. And in fact, of these four candidates that you've discussed here, Carrick's, Holsopple, Harris, and Mr. Taylor. Three of those are working with the Futurist New Deal for America as we speak, helping draft these new policy positions in their respective areas of expertise. For example, candidate Mr. Carrick's is composing a near Earth and space development policy initiatives for the Futurist New Deal for America. Mr. Harris is working on tech-based private sector initiatives for the Futurist New Deal for America. Mr. Holsopple brings an incredible amount to the table and sharing the incredible vision of Project 222. We want to be working with him as closely as possible. I would say of Mr. Taylor, I tried to reach out to him, and I wasn't able to speak to him yet. So if you're listening, Matt Taylor, please, we've done some interviews together. You know that I respect you immensely, and I'd like to be working with you as well.
Mr. Taylor, I find, is an incredible thinker. He has a very brilliant mind. He's also very busy with his work regime over there at the high schools and during his drama department. Incredibly hardworking, and I thank him for doing the post debate. The post-debate show with me, where he went on with Mr. Shatke and went head-to-head, and I thank him again for that. It was very, very good, even though he got a little bit of sleep, but it was really good. He's a really fantastic thinker, a great thinker. He's really hits, he really hits some important notes on a lot of these issues, and he lines up with you incredibly in the area of public health. Talking about public health, it just reminds me, is one of these things that the Haywire camp is bringing up. Is the UST public health only party? You just mentioned a whole bunch of other things, that the USTP is doing. But I just want to double down and confirm: are these accusations that the USTP only advocates for public health and nothing else true?
Yeah, well, it's a pretty foolish way, in my view, to be looking at this organization. It is true that of the three main pillars that are described of the transhumanist party platform, that life extension is the first. But all of these issues are important. And if you look at the interviews that I've done over the course of that primary election, a great many of them are about advanced algorithms. A great many of them are about digitalization and virtualization and other forms of metaverse discussions. Were not in short supply, and so this is just a kind of spin on from coming from these detractors, because it's not the case at all. But it is true that life extension is very close to me. It is an organizing principle of this community, and rightly so. But there's an incredible amount of diversity. And of course, a very good case could be made that advanced algorithms is the driver of all 21st century techno progress, including in biomedicine. And so we need to consider that to be as important strategically as anything. But this is rather like this talking point that I could not have gotten these 100+ votes. I did a great many interviews with a great many people. I don't see how people could imagine that I did 99 interviews and couldn't get 100 votes. It's sour grapes, pure and simple, coming from these folks.
I agree with the analysis of some of these commentators, and Haywire could have won. Haywire very easily could have taken the victory, and she was on track for a good portion of that to take the victory. But I want to state something. I personally found some flaws in her campaign, and the chairman has found has some flaws in the campaign, and other people, commentators and things, have found flaws in the campaign. But something that needs to be refuted is the election was fair, it was honest, and it's over. It's finished. You can't go around talking about buying votes. You can't go around talking about all this malarkey to do with election rigging or anything else. It was a fair, open, honest, the most transparent. That's what Gennady has said, and he's laid down the law on this. And there was a whole bunch of people, USTP officers, as supervisors to supervise this election. This wasn't just done in isolation. It wasn't just done, with no supervision. There was a bunch of USTP officers who were supervising this election, and it was done
an incredible amount of oversight,
and transparently. And it's done now. And we can talk, Rachel, if you're listening, I don't know if you're watching anymore. I mean, but you can come on the show and we can talk about this, and we can talk about new tactics, and we can talk about what you're doing in the future, and we can talk about all that stuff, and that's great. But the hard fact is that there was some flaws, and I like some of the stuff you did. I loved the merchandise. I thought, this is somewhere where the Ben Zion camp didn't even go. I mean, the hats were great. I mean, the hats were great. The memes were of were a very high standard. I mean, there was some great artwork going on there. There's some interesting ideas, and the fact that she had been pushed. She said, pushed by Zoltan, encouraged by Zoltan Itzvan, is fantastic. I mean, so there must have been something there to go off. But unfortunately, you can't hit and run a divisive campaign on a ranked preference system and then expect to win on first preference votes. It's just not how ranked preference systems work. And too many people at the end of the day put her at the bottom and messed that up. Now, unfortunate as that is, there's a lesson to learn there, and I hopefully, Rachel, if you're listening, you go out and you just learn that lesson, and you can come back. You can come back anytime you want. I don't think the rules have changed. I don't think the rules will exclude you from coming back and running again in the next time. And Mr. Shaki, you're welcome to come back as well. And run again if you want to as well. But sulking about it doesn't help your re-election campaign for now. So Ben, what one of your big things was integration of the party, unity of the party. You're going to pull the party together. What's your strategy now to encourage people to come back? Okay, the election's over. We're going to pull this nation back together, and we're all going to work under a unity ticket.
Yes. Well, this is the main work at this time, which is to be putting together this advisory council and working closely with them and trying to unite this organization, trying to present the best kind of operation to the larger world, and starting to do a lot more press of a larger scale. It was re-interviewed by Medium Magazine and our friend Alex Perlman. That article is coming out any moment, and some other incredible stuff. Our friend Brent Nally, we just did a show last night, and surprise guest on that show, Liz Parrish made an appearance. I'll ruin the surprise and say that she just popped by to say hello. She was walking by through the from the Raad Fest festivities, and she's friends with myself and Brent, and she came and gave us both a hug while we were doing an interview. It was really cool.
I just had Brett Nally on my show as well. Hopefully that encouraged you to reach out. And Brett Nally is absolutely a fantastic individual. I really encourage everyone to go and check out Brett Nally's YouTube channel. I made him a feature. Not that this means anything. My Detonation is so small right now, but in the future when Detonation has tens of thousands of people, go and check out Brett Nally's YouTube channel. I mean, go and do that. I mean, this guy has the best health and wealth and advice on Bitcoin and blockchain. And I mean, he's a smart, switched on, almost father now. He's going to be a father in a very short time. He's on his way. So no, he's a fantastic individual, and I really encourage everybody to go and quickly check out Brett Nally's channel. He's a really interesting, energetic person. Sorry I interrupted, but I'm really happy and really excited to see that network is cemented right there.
Yeah, and we were really exhausted last night. We sat down after a very long day at the first day of RADFest, and but we just had an incredible interview. I really clicked with that guy, and I really like what he has to say. And I just was really pleased that we got to sit down and do that. I have another one in about 2 hours with a Australian journalist, also for substantial media channel. So really excited to be able to be doing this stuff, and pleased that the voters have trusted me with doing this. You mentioned third parties a moment ago. I want to.
Before we go to third parties, I want to go to that in just a second. But before we go to third parties, you mentioned the word trust, and so for trust, you made some election campaign promises that you have to keep. Yes. For example, 10,000 members by 2022. A Unity, a Future New Deal podcast adventure and integration, and respecting the chair. Now, did you want to speak on any of these? For example, the 10K by 2022. It's quite a hard challenge. You've set it. You've set that goal. But how do you think you're going to try and achieve that now that you have the resources to attempt that?
Yes. Well, we have so many strategies for outreach at this juncture, getting to that number. And if you could be a fly on the wall to these internal discussions, I think you would not be quite so surprised by this number of 10,000 members. We're already well on our way. We're already putting a good foot forward to be making that quality of press and that quality of outreach, and all manner of initiatives exciting things going on. Even here with working with our friends at RADFest on some new undertakings, working with all of these other organizations and friends because these people are passionate about the future. They are passionate about a world where aging is the thing of the past. They are passionate about a world where advanced algorithms have changed our lives and allowed for a tremendous amount of human development relative even to what we see today. And I want to say something about what you said about respect at the chair, because I don't know that everybody in this organization was operating from that place, really comprehending the extent to which the person in this seat needs to be working with these USTP officers. Gennady is my boss, and I'm pleased that that's the case. I'm pleased to be coordinating with him here at this event and in every instance. I'm pleased to be coordinating with Pavel and all of these ranking USTP officers. They have we have a tremendous operation at the United States Transhumanist Party, and we need to use those resources to be organizing all of these undertakings, such as what you mentioned with integrating the Futurist New Deal platform policies into our strategy and into the United States Transhumanist Party.
Fantastic, and that's the positive rhetoric that people expect from the candidate-elect. That's the positive vision that people expected. You're there, you're making moves already. You're there in Las Vegas, in Gambling City. You're making moves already, and this is what people want. They want an active leader. They want somebody who speaks in a positive manner and that pushes forward for positive goals to enhance the USTP to be as strong as it can be for now and forever. I mean, now and forever. So
Yes.
That's fantastic. Now, the other thing we were going to talk about is because we're running out of time. You've got to go to Sens. I hear you get to go and
Yeah, that's true.
That's fantastic. I mean,
I'm quite pleased. I'm quite pleased to be going to this Sens meeting here at RADFest. This is kind of an incredible set of circumstances that I'm already got to see Liz Parrish. Now I'm going to see Aubrey de Grey. I've seen some incredible speakers on the stage last night, and saying hello to friends, people who I know from these telephone conversations and interviews, and now I'm getting to shake their hand. Oh, it's overwhelming.
That's fantastic.
So yeah,
and that's the that's the reward that you get when you follow what. This is what the USTP voted for, right? It's not your own inertia. You might have done this independently, but you're doing this because the USTP voting core said we want someone who will do this. And I wanted to actually talk about that because Liz Parrish, Aubrey de Grey, myself, Humanity Plus, Jim Stroll, even H plus. I mean, we're all third parties, and we were all crying out for somebody who would say, let's integrate third party presence, and let's use the USTP as the epicenter, an epinode, as an integration mechanism. And you echoed those concerns. Let's talk about third party integration. Jim Stroll. I mean, you don't throw Jim Stroll out onto the road. I mean, this is what some people's policies were trying to do. I mean, Jim Stroll is someone you want to work with. Liz Parrish is someone you want to work with. Aubrey de Grey is not someone you throw out to the whales, right? To the sharks.
No, indeed. Yeah. I think that to varying degrees, people working on this campaign were unwilling or unable to be talking to these people, understanding what their goals were and concerns were, and how to work with them. And that's really a central part of this job, in my view. I'm pleased to be able to do that to whatever degree I can. These organizations that run in parallel to the United States Transhumanist Party, RADFest, and affiliated organizations, which was an incredible number of my voters. Humanity Plus, a very large number of my voters. and people from the international community, the other transhumanist party leaders in other countries, and their friends, a huge part of my support. So I need to thank all of them, and again assure them that I am this person who will continue to be hearing them and working with them in the way that you described. This is crucial.
This is a pivotal point in human history when transhumanism either dies or thrives, and I am very determined to ensure that it thrives in this mechanism. Gennady and Pavel especially, is very cognizant of the fact that history repeats, and it repeats negatively, and that this movement, the fact that it is political, there's an Aboriginal word here in Australia, which as a town that I used to grew up near, and the word was Mariba, okay? And Mariba in Australian Aboriginal, means the meeting of many waters, okay? And this is a Mariba moment. It's the meeting of politics and science, which, Francis Bacon, he unboxed science, and it fought with religion, and it fought with science, it fought with politics, and we still see that going on today with climate change, and we see it going on today with CRISPR, and we see it going on today with religion still, and we see science pitted against every facet of human emotion, because it's a cold, hard logic. That's what science is. Science says at a particular point it's 36 degrees. It's not 35 because you want it to be. It's not 38 because because you woke up on the other side of the bed. It was 36 degrees, right? So that's what science says. And science and politics have always butted heads. And we've finally found a movement. We finally found a point in history where these two are trying to have a Mariba moment. They're trying to meet. They're trying to work together. And that is an extremely complex procedure. That's an extremely complex process. And that's hard because also in the middle of it, you have money and you have people's emotions and you have different agendas. You have praxeology. You have a whole variety of technologies that are, and stresses and strains and national security issues. I mean, this is not an easy task, but it's a challenge that humanity has to face, and we have to meet, and it all comes right to this point right here, right now. We can achieve this, and we can do this. We just have to work together, and we have to figure out a way to make this work. If we don't, this moment in history, it's like Elon Musk. He's pushing so hard because he can see the fact that this moment in history, with the interconnected global infrastructure of the internet, information flowing everywhere, people are crossing the oceans by trains and planes and automobiles. I mean, it's all happening. And if this moment passes, we could lose. And I really, really don't want to see it pass. And Benzi, no. Neither do anyone at the USTP, and they've thrown that at you, and we wish you the best.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, this came up in Brent Nally's. Please be looking forward to that. This came up in Brent Nally's podcast. He was kind enough to have me on, as we mentioned. There is a very real risk if we do not integrate this pro-science thinking into policy initiatives and into the larger discussion and consensus, into our political will. That what will happen is that when we have these emerging technologies, particularly in biomedicine, that are allowing for longer lifespans, they will be ignored by the general population. They will be orphan technologies that are not utilized to the degree that they could. And that has a tremendous human toll in human life. 110,000 people are dying every day of age-related illness. This is preventable, and it's increasingly preventable as we make this technocratic thinking the center of our civil society. And this is something that we must do. It's something that we must encourage all of our friends and loved ones to do. It is the most important, one of the most important roles that organizations that advocate for technology, like the United States Transhumanist Party, can be playing.
Yeah, and I'm switching it into a mode now of advocating on Detonation, advocating for people to join up to the USTP and grow these ranks. That's I'm switching into a new mode now here on Detonation, where I'm going to support. I'm going to throw my weight, as small as my voice is. I'm going to try and amplify the message, and I'm going to try and throw my weight into the Ben Zion 2020, to getting people to sign up to the U.S. Transhumanist Party, and advocating that we can achieve this. The campaign is long behind us now, and it's time to press forward into a new era. I think we can achieve it, and I know that from sources that Zoltan Itzvan is very happy with the result. He's going to support the candidate elect, and other people, including Liz Parrish, like you said, or Rhoda Gray. Humanity Plus, Natasha Wiedemore, Max Moore, Peter. Everybody is happy now. Everybody is ready to go, and we can do this, and we can achieve this, and we have to keep. There was some controversy, a little bit of controversy around, but all of that stuff is gone now. It's all about the Ben Zion 2020, and all it is about numbers now. It doesn't matter. All the rest of the controversy is gone. The campaign. That's it.
I think so. Yeah, and I had a tremendous conversation with Zoltan Istvan just 2 days ago, talking about the future of this organization, talking about strategies for media, talking about our roles and everyone's roles in continuing to do the best that we can for this organization and for techno progress generally. He's always been very dedicated to doing this, and it was just an honor to sit down and talk with him in that private conversation. And I know we're going to be doing a lot more of that with I've had so many conversations of this kind in recent days. It's been a real honor, and I'm just happy to be working with this caliber of folks in this organization, and moving forward with our message that futurism and radical life extension. Radical life extension is closer than you think. Get ready for that. All of these futurist matters are worth fighting for, and we have to be able to put ourselves out there and do that.
Fantastic. And former candidate Matt Taylor says, congratulations, Johan Ben Zion. Best of luck to your campaign. And Matt, if you're not going to watch the start of this, Ben reached out to you, and he would like to communicate with you. We know you're a very hard gentleman to catch on times. So Ben would like to talk with you. So just make that note known. But congratulations, Johan Ben Zion. Best of luck in your campaign. Breaking news there from former candidate Matt Taylor. So that's very nice.
And we're going to have lots more correspondence coming here from Radfost over the next few days, and lots of great pieces coming out. It's an incredible incubator here of great minds, scientific researchers, thought leaders. So please keep an eye, and we'll all talk soon. You guys, you know how to reach me. Get in touch with your concerns. Let's keep talking and keep moving forward.
That's a great note to end on. Thank you very much for coming on Detonation and giving us the post-election update of this transparent, free, honest election. And let's move now into a brighter future for humanity, and grow the USTP out, fulfill some of these promises, and and communicate with these third parties that are so desperate to work with the United States Transhumanist Party, the real hope of techno progress and a positive future for America, essentially, but also by extension the world. Through better health technology, health span, lifespan. I mean, the whole list. I mean, the whole space colonization. I mean, everything, right?
Yes. Thank you, Steele. It's a pleasure as always, and I'll be looking forward to speaking with you soon. Looking forward to your exciting slate of shows this weekend as well. Got a lot of great guests.
A lot of great
Folks
guests.
need
Yep.
to subscribe to your channel. It's the best resource for information about what's going on in techno optimist world.
Absolutely, and we're off to Africa. We're off to TAFS. TAFS is a great organization. We'll have more breaking news on
Incredible.
TAFS. Fantastic organization. That's another one that I have continually forgotten to mention on this podcast, on this show here. And that's another one, a very good one that we have to respect, and we have to have to remind ourselves to mention. So thank you so much, Ben Zion, and keep us updated. And Shoemaker, we'll see you as well. And we missed the road show, but we'll grab those two back very soon. So thank you very much, Ben Zion, for coming on the show.
Thank you, sir.